Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of I'll Have a Double, the podcast, episode 106. What is happening? I am 1B.
I'm Brent Crable, 106th Park.
Ooh, I love. Shout out to 106th Park, man. That brings back some memories.
Yeah, that was a good show.
Back when BET was worth watching.
Is it not worth watching?
I haven't watched it since 106th Park. A long time ago.
I was gonna say the same. I wanted you to say it first.
You didn't want everybody to start coming at you, Brent. Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Well, it was
you
just
are white. I didn't know if you know that, but
I am. It was. Well, that's not true. I still would watch. No. White. That's color is just that's a construct. Who knows? No, I would watch the late night videos. Those were always fun.
Dark.
Yeah, those were always fun because it'd be like, oh, they did another music video version to this song. Okay, this is a different one.
And think about it. Back then, we thought that was like explicit shit, though.
Oh, for sure. That's why I watched it because it was like, oh.
And now that would be just on regular BET now.
Yeah, I mean, now that would be on like NBC.
It'd be on the morning show. It'd be on Today's show.
It'd be on Disney. Like, what
like and subscribe here at I'll Have a Double. We're I'll Have a Double podcast on Instagram, on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, and we have older episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all the places that you listen to your podcast. You have episodes of I'll Have a Double. You can go back in the crates. Back in the beginning.
Back in time.
Hey, pre-COVID stuff. If you just want to just catch up on, all the stuff that we've talked about, so you can pick up on, our references and sayings that we have accumulated throughout the last couple of years. Because we tend to say a lot of stuff. But yeah, and make comments, comments on the YouTube page. Let us know what you're thinking. Did you see the comment on last week about you, Brent?
No, what did it say?
Someone said you look like, they said the white guy, makes the difference between me and you, the white guy.
Okay.
That you look like Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer?
Yeah. I think it's the beard. I think it's just the beard.
Well, also because I had I think the blue light was the blue light was making me look crazier. And having those goggles on that couldn't see my eyes, because if they did, they would know I don't look like fucking Trent Dilfer.
It was the episode before that.
Damn it! Hey, but Trent Dilfer, though, I mean, I think once he shaved his head and grew the beard, I mean, it was a nice, like, symmetrical. It was symmetrical.
I don't think it was a diss at all. I think it was the beard. I think the beard is what stood out. I think that's what it was. So, but hey, someone's watching.
Won a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, someone's watching.
His defense won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So real quick, I was trying to find out what I was going to drink, and so I kind of grab stuff that I can find, and I have come up with a pretty tasty beverage here. You can't go wrong with the High Noon. Okay, so this is High Noon pineapple, and I started looking around.
The vodka one.
Yeah, this is the vodka one, and then I don't know where I got these from, but these are the Parrot Bay little coconut
rum.
Put that, a little coconut rum, and then I put a lime in it. And brother, let me tell you, this is a party in my mouth right now. This is pretty cool. This is something that I would do again.
So you're doing Parrot Bay, lime, and High Noon in that. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that party. It got a little wild. Cops just busted in.
Too hard in the mouth.
The cops just knocked on the door.
Went down the throat.
Yeah.
Expected it.
It had to jump out the window.
Like I'm bleeding inside my chest. Oh, but so cheers. What are you drinking? What you got over there?
I am drinking. Sorry, hold on. I got a call coming in. I am drinking. We've had it before. It's that Cali Rosa. I think this is Adam Levine or Adam Devine. Which one? I think Adam Levine's tequila. It's the maroon
Levine.
Yeah, Maroon 5, Adam.
Yes.
It's his tequila. It's the pink one that's like the Rosa tequila. It's
Okay. Yeah.
it's good. I always like it. I mean, it's perfect for just on the rocks. I mean, by the time it melts a little bit, dilutes it. It's not very strong. It's got a good taste to it.
What's the name of it again? I'm looking at it.
Cali Rosa. Here, give me a second. I'll bring the bottle. I will bring the bottle so we can show the people.
Yeah.
So it is this. It's this bottle. So it's got a very.
We've had that before.
It's got a very like wine-ish look to it, you know.
Yeah, we've had that before in the pod, I think.
Yeah, we have. It's good. They have. This is the Blanco. They have the Añejo. I don't like that one. That one's a little strong. The aftertaste is a little harsh.
Yeah.
This is a lot more friendly, especially to our female listeners who usually prefer Blanco or Reposado. It's got a better, easier taste.
They don't always prefer Blanco.
but when they do, they prefer Cali Rosa Blanco. Yeah, no, it's just good. It's good, smooth. It's nice and easy.
Shout out to Adam Levine. Not to be confused with the former slam dunk champion Zach Levine.
Ooh, not to always also be confused with Adam Devine, who sometimes I get those names confused.
Or Loretta Devine was great actress. So it's a lot of confusion there. Next thing you know, if I drink too many of those, I'm thinking like Loretta Levine will have made that tequila. So, but no, speaking of drinking, Brent, I was here at home on my couch watching the Super Bowl and watching the commercials, but you didn't get to hear any of the commercials and stuff because you were in New Orleans for Mardi Gras.
I was.
We're talking ass, titties, ass and titties, ass. Tell me about the ass and titties. Go.
Well, I think the ratio was quite off on the ass and titties. I think you were looking at a 60, 40, 65, 35 split. A lot of dudes.
Dudes.
Bourbon Street.
Looking for ass, titties.
Yeah. So, you know, this is one of those rare times where when you do go to New Orleans, you actually do want to go to Bourbon Street.
Right.
And because that's where it's all happening.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a picture on Instagram, and I will send it to you so you can chop it and clip it in right here. But I took a really cool picture. It was like,
bam.
It was about maybe 5:30, 4:30 in the morning, something really late. Mm-hmm. And it was like the street was empty, and it's just all trash lining. Yeah. And the trash looks like tire marks because they're kind of close together. Because you could see where everybody was standing and stuff like that.
There was probably still people laying down there too. You probably saw bodies like
there. This was actually in this picture. You'll see the only people you'll see are the people that were cleaning the street.
Do they do the New York style cleaning? Do they do like the blower and all that stuff?
It's incredible. The cleaning. I got to give it to them. I mean, because they're out there and they got crews, trucks. I mean, they are getting
Terry Crews. Terry Crews is out there.
Terry Crews is out there, just flexing his pecs, pack. Yeah. So this city never sleeps. We had one night where we went to several bars, a strip club, then another bar. Left that bar at 7 a.m. So I mean, you know, and it's always. I know that obviously we're older and we travel enough, but it's still a little jarring because we live in Dallas where things close for the most part at 2. You can go to after hour spots, but it's always BYOB or there's some weird workaround. But when just normal bars, and one of those bars was still like having crawfish boils and stuff and serving food till 7, and it was still open when we left. Like I mean, I don't think it closes. And so it's just crazy when it's, you know, you get the because you're getting a lot of the people that were our industry people coming in after their shifts to get down. So,
and honestly, that's who I want to party with. If you're coming in town, that's who you want to party with. We're going to do that. Yeah. Put a pin on that. Remember, we're going to do a segment or a show on how to travel as a single man. Because I'm telling you, I can do a book on that. I live that life. So I can help a lot of people out, a lot of dudes. I can help a lot of bros out there on how to party in another city as a single man and by yourself. And trust me, you'll be thankful. You would.
I would imagine one of those would be befriending industry people, befriending bartenders.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think we've talked about that on the pod about befriending the a hot bartender, and then let her be your VIP
wingman.
Let her be let her be your guide. Don't try to date her.
Right.
Let her be the guide. And that goes in general. Like I said, we'll get into that another time. We'll
that is a fact. I would like to do that because
I've been telling you this too.
You've been telling me this for years, and it's taken a long time to realize not every game is meant to be won, if you know what I mean.
Not every shot needs to be taken.
Not every shot needs to be taken. Sometimes you gotta pass, or sometimes you gotta go
keep dribbling.
You know what? Yeah. I will check out of the game. Let the sixth man come in.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I went with Kadeem Hardison. That was actually him. He was the sixth man. I went with a buddy of ours who, New Orleans is basically his second home, almost his first home. Always wants to go. Oh, Ryan Harden, good buddy, friend of the show. I was nervous because I'm like, hey, I know how Ryan likes to go. This is his domain.
And we're talking about a young man's game too.
Yeah, a very young man's game, and two guys that are at the tail end of their career of that type of game.
I heard no bell.
So I was, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. And we hit up some good spots. Obviously Bourbon Street's crazy. You got the balcony game. You got people showing tits for bead. The bead part is crazy to me because look, this is actually like I'm looking at like this is kind of people are fucking rifling beads.
You gotta wear goggles or some shades or something.
I mean, if you catch a bead and if you turn around at the wrong time, you're getting just smashed with beads.
Yeah, or a titty might hit you in the face.
A titty might hit you in the face.
Titty or a bead.
You've got you've got the classic post up moves happening throughout all of Bourbon Street.
Like Hakeem Olajuwon post ups? We're talking
kind of like Hakeem. You've got several groups of different guys just posted up, kind of hand in the pocket of the pants, smoking a blunt or drinking, and just hawking everybody that comes. And it's a constant sizing up of, and it's interesting, but it's a never ending. Just, and so if you go with somebody, make sure you stay close, or else they will be trying to holler at whoever you're with.
Right.
And so that's definitely, and it's constant through the whole street. Number of bars, all the bars are about basically the same. I feel like the drink prices and drinks, I don't know, they seem to be pretty normal. Didn't seem to be anything crazy.
Yeah. Drink prices are pretty cool there. They want you to keep
food.
That's the whole part.
Yeah, for sure. So the food was, and every place was. I mean, no place was hard to get into. You don't have to deal with any of the BS. As long as you have your ID, you're good.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of places do you get the wristband. You have the drink tickets and stuff. We went to this place called Penthouse Strip Club, and it was I didn't know what to expect. I don't know the strip club game out there.
Yep.
I hadn't been in 10 years. Didn't go the other two, or maybe I went to one of the shitty ones that was like right on Bourbon. This one is off, but it was good. The talent was good, and the vibes were good. It was the crowd was good, and this place also doesn't close. We left this place at like 5:30 or 6.
So compare those strip clubs to a Dallas strip club. What name a popular Dallas strip club? The Lodge. What?
I would say this one
for us Dallas folk.
This one could be comparable to the Lodge. I would think has better. But the one thing I will say about it is there were a lot of strippers. There were a lot of there was so many to where, some of the good outweighed some of the bad. And it wasn't like terrible. Like none were really, really
right.
You've probably been.
Why are you here?
Yeah, you've probably been to some of those. Yeah, you've probably been to some of those where you're like, what's going on? But yeah, no, it was it's a penthouse. It's off Bourbon. I forget the name of the street, but yeah, it was cool. And also, I don't know when the last time you were there, but obviously they had the casino and they've redone the casino since. Harrah's is now Caesars.
It was definitely pre-COVID. I can't remember exactly. It was probably like 2018 or something, 2019 maybe, since I've been there.
Yeah. So they've redone it. It's quite nice. They got a little sports book. I went twice. We watched the Mavs crush the Thunder with their new toys. That was nice.
Love the new toys, man.
Love the new toys. Love that. And then we watched the Super Bowl there. I ended up booking a table before we went out there. And they did have sound. So a lot of the commercials, I was able to kind of hear it. I mean, it's loud, but the casino, what's interesting? It's like, I think you can't smoke there, which is weird. So
in New Orleans,
you can't vape or whatever in the casino. But I'm just saying, in Vegas, you can. Yeah. In New Orleans, a city 5 times dirtier, you can't. And it's like, this doesn't make sense. In New Orleans, I feel like you should be able to smoke anywhere you want.
Yeah.
I mean, you should just be smoking. I mean, you should just be nonstop smoking. Crawfish right now is brutal. So, I guess you got to wait till like April to go. It's just bad all the way around.
Just leave crawfish alone.
But we had there's a good
be done with it.
Yeah, it's
stop it. We're grown. We're adults now.
It's just that, it's that part. It's that part of the game. I can't look shots and crawfish, man. I'm going to be doing it till I die,
man. Yeah,
I know. It's
crabs. Get some crab legs. Get some shrimp.
Hey, I'm not trying to get crabs. Now. The hotel that we stayed at was right on Canal and Bourbon. And it was a very popular hotel, very packed hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen that many people waiting in the lobby or in the lobby at all time. Just people just coming up, leaving, checking out. I mean, it was just this thing was packed. The elevator situation was brutal. No hot water, or at least it ran out. It ran out by late Saturday, early Sunday. Yeah. I mean,
guys, no hot water.
Yeah. What are you gonna do too? But overall, it was fun. Definitely a young man's game. I'm more excited for Jazz Fest. Glad I did it.
And that was your first time, right? That was
my first time to Mardi Gras. I missed the best day, Fat Tuesday. What I did like though was the constant parades going on.
Yeah,
because with the constant parades, you had constant like marching bands and music, and the music is obviously jazz influence type. I mean, so that part of it with a little bit of the tropical feel because it's by the water, like there is a vibe there that you can't get really too many places, right? There's just it's the being able to drink and anywhere. I mean, you can open whatever. It doesn't matter. People are smoking weed. You got jazz music going. I mean, it is just constant. You got people hammered all over the place. You're just like, dude, where the fuck am I? This is not real life. It doesn't feel real.
Baby, you in Nowlands.
Bourbon Street feels like we said earlier, like purgatory. Like you're just walking through purgatory. Like, what is this? Because the street goes forever. And if you go one street over, there's still some really good restaurants, and you can bypass all that BS and cut back over. But yeah, it's just been a while. And I forgot. I mean, New Orleans does have a vibe that I don't know. I don't necessarily know how people live there, but to visit.
Oh, you don't hang out in Bourbon Street if you live there.
Oh, that for sure. But I'm just saying.
Like when I lived in Vegas, I mean, I didn't hang out at the Strip. I mean, people came.
I just mean in general because it is still humid. I mean, it was like 75 and it was warm. I mean,
Go there for SFS.
I can't even fucking imagine.
In the middle of July.
But we found some good. There's a good place if you guys like oysters, gumbo. Place called Loop. That place is pretty money. It's off Canal and I can't remember the name. But there were some really good spots. Good vibes. Hit the casino up. Great music. It's just a vibe, and it's a cheap, quick flight.
Oh yeah. Did you do Southwest?
Yeah, quick flight.
Yeah, no,
like a little over an hour, like hour and 20 minutes. There's nothing.
No,
so it's easy.
Every time I've gone to New Orleans, I've enjoyed myself, but it's literally like 48 hours. I mean, it's just me, Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy, and we hang out there for 2 days, and then we're back out of there.
And is he calling you
Armstrong airport, and we're up and out of there. But I will say this: if you've never had
whatever convict,
he's just trying to get back to dollars.
He's calling you convict the whole time.
Nick Nolte. If you've never had red beans and rice, do not have it for the first time in New Orleans because it will ruin that experience for the rest of your life. Because the red beans and rice in New Orleans is here, and then everybody else is over there. I'm not even doing this. I'm just saying it's not even the same planet. It's just two completely different worlds. And if you go down there and have red beans and rice, and then you come to Dallas, and then you go to a random French place or Cajun place and have red beans and rice, you might spit it out because you're like, "What am I eating?" Because it is two completely different things down there. I've had red beans and rice in so many different places, but I went down there and had the red beans and rice. I don't think I've had red beans and rice anywhere else since. Like, I only eat it when I go to New Orleans now. I'm like, God damn it, you guys ruined red beans and rice for me. It's kind of like clam chowder going up to Boston and New England and have some clam chowder. Don't eat that shit anywhere else because it's not gonna be the same. You literally might spit it out because it's not the same. But red beans and rice, bro.
And if you like oysters, but maybe you don't necessarily love the traditional, the cold raw, the charbroiled oyster there is fire. It's so good, and everywhere. I would say a few places, but I had them several places. Jambalaya had a few places. It was a little dry. The gumbo was fire everywhere. Fire. Yeah, man. I mean, it was good. The one thing I didn't have that I had when I went over 10 years ago was didn't have any hurricanes or anything like that. Thank God. Not trying to have a sugar death. I think that might have helped prolong the nights and the mornings, making them a little bit easier to deal with than before.
It's hurting just thinking about it.
Yeah, but there was a lot of those.
That long green one. They still selling those out there? Do you see
people
out there with those?
What do you mean? Dude, Bourbon Street is filled with with whatever that it's like that grenade thing.
Man,
just filled with it.
I remember I was been drinking for the most of the night, and then one of the girls we were with had one of those. I took 2 sips. I mean, not even big sips. I took 2 sips, and I was ready to go to the nearest trash can. I was just like, that was. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how they drink. I don't know how they drink that shit. Like, what the hell are you drinking?
It's flavorful and it's potent. I guess maybe that's it. That's the young man's drink. But, I was thinking I only saw a few people fall, maybe a few people laying down, trying to get right
down.
But I didn't see any fights.
You know what? I've never seen a fight down there. I think you were too drunk to fight. And I think the people, you don't go to Mardi Gras to fight. That's not, you're going down there to get drunk and to see ass, titties.
Yeah. Yeah. Titties. Well, that's what I mean, because again, like I said, you got several people posted up, and sometimes you get a little too much testosterone going, and somebody's like, why are you looking over here? Whatever. But it was like they all had the same mission. It was taking in the environment.
Yep.
And looking for the ass and titties. So it was like, Okay, cool. So now we've established I guess this is what we need to not
And that's
have
what it
those.
should be. Damn it! When I go out, everybody should be going out to drink and focus on ass and titties, and there will be no fighting, no fighting.
There was no reason to fight.
No fight.
It was good. It was a good time, man. It was fun. I give it. I'm glad I did it. I don't know if I would do it again, but definitely want to go back to New Orleans more than I have been doing in the last, 10 years. I kind of was like, damn, I've been what well, obviously, we had COVID and whatnot, but I'm going again, Jazz Fest for my buddy's bachelor party. But I think that we should try to do a yearly New Orleans trip. Go out there for a few days. I think you're right. I think it's like a 48-hour, or maybe like go out there on a Friday, leave on Sunday. Because you get that perfect. You get the Friday night, you get the full day Saturday, and then you still can do a little brunch on Sunday, a half Sunday fun day, leave.
And we back at the airport by 10 a.m.
Yeah, and it's it's an easy airport to navigate in and out of too, so you don't have to worry about that. But
did you meet a Uber friend? Because every time I go, the Uber guy hands a card and say, "Hey, call me personally, and I'll pick you guys up, take you to the airport." Did you guys have that guy? Like, every time I go, I always have that guy. Like, they always have their own card, and they go, "Hey, just call me personally, and I'll come get you."
So that's funny. The first guy, I thought he was going to do that, didn't. The guy that dropped us off at the airport, I think was that guy, but we were already leaving. He actually did a funny, hey, thanks. He was like, bring it in. I was like, what? And he was like, I'm just kidding or whatever. I was like, that was weird. But he was cool. He had a good person. I think he would have been that guy. But where we were staying, you weren't getting Ubers. You weren't getting, because the parades are going the whole time.
Right.
You can't even get an Uber from the hotel to the casino, which is really not that far. It's like not even half a mile. Yeah. You're not, the only way you're getting an Uber is you're getting that Uber out of the city.
Right. Yeah. The Uber's taking you away.
Yeah. The Uber couldn't even drop us fully off to the hotel. We had to get out because you're in purgatory. You can't, it's a one ticket, one way in, one way out. That's it.
Hey, I'm down. I'm down. Like I said, I haven't been to New Orleans since COVID. But I was going for work at least once or twice a week. I had a buddy who was down there, and he would always take us to the casinos, and he would just take us out and show us a good time. I need to reach back out to him again, and I know he would definitely show us all over the places. But the Super Bowl's there next year.
Really?
Yeah.
That could be interesting because I know obviously with the Super Bowl being in Vegas, and I was just in Vegas not too long ago, right after the Cowboys lost. I mean, that would have been ideal to go there for that, but obviously things were too high. I think New Orleans would be a fun time to go, no matter who's playing.
I just hope,
to be down there.
I just hope at some point the NFL gods will shine upon Dallas and give us one more chance. Give us one more chance. Biggie, give me one more chance. I mean, give us one more shot.
Roger, one more chance.
Just give us one more shot. Oh, man. I need a redo, man. I need a redo of that week because it's still, I would say, one of the top 5 weeks of my entire life, but it would have been the greatest week ever in my entire life if we didn't have the worst one of the worst snowstorms that we've ever had. And it was like, and it wasn't even like one big snowstorm and then we dealt with the ramifications. No, it hit once and then we had like 2 days off and then it hit again. And that never happens here. Never. It's always one big snowstorm and then you deal with the shit for the next couple of days. This one hit hard. A couple of days later, it hit again. I'm like, what in the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
I mean, that was worse than the All-Star weekend the year before. That was just one day of just a shit ton of snow. Super Bowl was literally all week. We were literally living in like the East Coast where it was like every 2 or 3 days we were getting hit with another storm. And that was like unheard of. And it's never happened again. It's never happened again like that.
Well, I mean, it did. 2021.
No, it wasn't. We got hit one big time then. That was one, and then it got cold as fuck. We got hit and then it got cold. But it wasn't like every 2 or 3 days we were getting hit with another storm. Like that was literally like every 2 or 3 days we got hit with another storm.
Yeah, it's tough because I think, people came and they couldn't experience the city like they should.
Yeah.
But even then, though, I still think because, like, you know, people come in town. People were in town for I'm trying to remember I think it was for like the World Series.
Yeah.
Because I think they were in town for the World Series and they were trying to figure out what to do. Yeah. And it's like they would come in and they were like staying in Arlington. Mm-hmm. And I remember like being in Dallas or whatever, and they're like trying to figure out what to do, staying in Arlington, or they were at we were somewhere in Fort Worth or whatever, and they were staying in Rockwall at an Airbnb because like people don't know the city, and it's not like these other cities where it's not like New Orleans or Vegas or whatever, where it's like right there. And if you get caught with an Airbnb in Rockwall, and then go into the stockyards. And then you're gonna be like, dude, what the fuck? This city is it's too spread out, too big. I think that when they do it again, there needs to be a perfect little map given out to people of like, look, stay within these corridors, or if you stay away, just know what you're dealing with. This is where you want to play.
I think that's the beauty of it, though, is that you could literally have a spot, let's say in Fort Worth, on the other side. That way you can get to the stadium, you know, easily on Sunday. But you might know someone that might have a spot closer into Dallas, and then you just kind of like, it's almost like satellite type shit, where it's like you're connecting the dots. Where it's like no one's going to be in the perfect spot because they're going to be far away from another spot. But all the parties, for the most part, were all in Dallas. All the parties were happening in the Dallas uptown area. All the parties I went to. I mean, I met so many celebrities that week. Even though the weather was bad, I was still meeting I met so many celebrities that week. And I'm just like, man, if the weather was decent, I mean, just wasn't even just bad. It was just decent. Man, I think we got to do it again. And we got to be in a position where we can walk into these places and we have the relationships to get into the parties and, you know, all that good stuff, because that makes the whole trip. I mean, that makes the whole week. If you can start getting these parties, the parties is what sets it off. And like the Maxim parties, I mean, you know, Sports Illustrated parties. I mean, those are memories that, you know, I got to do that again. We got to do it at least one more time. Biggie, please give me one more chance.
I don't know. I just feel like it should be.
I don't know if the World Cup. I don't know if the World Cup is going to provide that or not. I don't know. I've never experienced a World Cup, so I don't know how the World Cup thing works. Although that's bigger than the Super Bowl, you know, really it is. But I just don't know from a party, celeb events. I don't know. Are they going to come here and just start like posting up and like setting up major events, major parties for the World Cup? I don't know. I don't know how that works.
I would think that they would. I just, you know, the Super Bowl, especially being, you know, U.S. based and being one game, I think does hold a little bit more weight for a build up, party game than after.
It's like All-Star Weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like all that. And I think, I just don't know if there's a better place to even do it than Vegas.
Man, why are you talking about, man? We're trying to get them to do the damn.
I know, but see, they didn't have that stadium in Vegas yet.
Not do it.
They didn't have that stadium in Vegas yet, and it's like, damn, dude, like that might be the perfect. It sucks that they have a team there, because they almost should have never moved the team there, built that stadium, and just kept it the neutral site for the Super Bowl every year, another game, whatever, which would suck for other cities. But like, it's just the perfect setup. You got Vegas.
I'm curious to see what the numbers were. I'm curious to see how successful it was for Vegas to have the Super Bowl there.
I mean, it had to be great. It was the viewing numbers. It was the most watched televised event ever.
Well, Taylor Swift will tell you you're welcome. So
she would tell you that for sure. But I have to imagine that, dude. I'm sure Vegas did incredible. I mean, I know that they did, because I remember looking at tickets 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago, when I thought there might be a chance silly me, right? But I just looked them up, and I remember looking at places like the Cosmo or whatever,
Right.
and normal night rate is probably like $400, $500, and they were going for like 2,500, and that was that was before we were getting into January and February.
How far out can you book? Because I mean, if I was just a gambling person, like I would literally just book the hotel room at that city, just like now, like whatever Super Bowl is going to be in, just go ahead and just book rooms and just, and then hold on to them. You know what I mean?
I bet you could book. I bet you can book a year out. Let's hear.
Look up New Orleans, and I mean the Super Bowl is always the second week in February now. So look, second Sunday in February at New Orleans and see what the prices are.
Of course, we've got to update the app. Right, it's got to do a little update. I think,
man, I'm telling you, you know how much money you would get for your apartment for your if you rented it out for the week for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I would be a little. I guess I wouldn't be too nervous, but I think I could probably do I could probably get like 2,000 a night, something like that.
You can stay with us. You can stay here. We got 3 rooms. You can hang out here for the week and clean the hell up.
That would be sick. All right, now I'm in. Now you got me convinced. All right, so if we did Friday through, all right, let's see. Next year, I think you can book it out. Let's see. Looks like it's there. Now I just got to see if that is 2020. No, that's 2024. Mm-hmm. So it looks. Oh, you can do. All right. So you can do 7th through 10th. I think you can go a year out. And so looking at it right now, I could tell they know the Super Bowl is coming because.
Well, once it's announced, then that's the end of it. I think do they do it? They treat it like the Olympics. Do they do like a finalist, or do they just announce? I think they just announce the city. They don't do like
So it looks like what they have is, for the most part, these look like people's Airbnbs, like their lofts or condos.
Yeah,
and a lot of these are already going. This one right here is going for 2,600 a night.
Yeah,
this one's going for 3,700 a night.
Damn, 3,700.
Yep. This one is going for $899. Not too bad. But it looks like none of these are actual hotels. They're more of the like Airbnb. So I don't know. That would be tough, because if you would have heard about Vegas right when it dropped, you probably could have got a room. But that's what they know. They know that everyone's coming, so they're pumping those up. So I bet here. Think about here, like the Virgin Hotel. I bet those rooms will be going for like $2,500 a night.
And they usually put a three night stay mandatory on that.
Yeah, but see, if we did that, we could tell the people out there, hey, here's some cool areas to stay, or cool hotels to stay in. Here's where I would target this area. You'll be close.
So the last Super Bowl in New Orleans I went to, I was with a group. We stayed in Slidell. That's where we had to stay outside of New Orleans, which was, I think Slidell was about, it was about 40 minutes away. So it was probably like Denton. Let's say like if we were going to, let's say if the Super Bowl was downtown, let's say if it was in at the Fair Park, and we would have to stay in Denton. That was pretty much what we had to stay, and we had to do that every night. Every day we were going back and forth.
I mean, I just like that. For me, that would suck to drive. Like, I guess, maybe it's like if you compare it to being in LA and staying like in Malibu or something. Mm-hmm. You still have to, if you want to go into to West Hollywood or something, it's gonna be a bit of a hike. But you got to think, like, Ubers are gonna be so expensive.
Yeah,
and you're driving forever, and when you have nights where like that's what the beauty of
Nice,
Mardi
like,
Gras is. Whatever you had nights where you're hammered and you can just stumble back to the hotel right there.
yeah.
That's nice and easy because trying to get a cab or anything, good luck.
Oh, you say you're gonna try to take it nice and slow.
I'm saying that I would take it nice and slow because my way would not be 40 minutes away. No way. That's just too long.
Yeah, yeah. So you would just like take the Uber app and just let it burn.
Let it. See, that's what I was going to say. You're bringing up, wanting to have a Super Bowl here, but we didn't even talk about the Super Bowl that just happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because one, I didn't really care. I wanted both teams to lose, so it was kind of one of those things where I didn't really have a dog in the fight, so I didn't really care that much. And then I didn't have a Super Bowl party to go to. I was literally sitting on the couch by myself watching the Super Bowl. I've never done that before.
I thought you were doing a Taylor Swift party.
I wasn't doing a Taylor Swift party. There were people doing Taylor Swift parties, but I wasn't involved in the Taylor Swift party. I ended up not doing nothing. Like
y'all didn't have a party to go to?
I didn't.
Because I remember the one that we went to in 2020. That
I don't know. No one threw parties this year. No one threw parties this year. We've been having stuff at our house, all year. So I'm like, I didn't really feel like throwing anything. And I'm one of those people, man. Like, if I can't be around people that I really want to be around, I would choose being by myself. I'm not one of those people like, oh, I gotta watch the Super Bowl with people, or I gotta watch this big fight, or I gotta watch this big game with
people.
No, it's like if it's not who I really want to watch it with, I would just rather just stay at home.
And well, that's it. I'd be interested to know what it was like then, because you were able to watch all the commercials
naked,
uninhibited. You were able to watch the commercials and the game
all on the couch.
Which honestly, I don't mind that kind of stuff either, especially if it's like okay, now I can focus. Now I can pay attention to it. Now I don't have to deal with any whatever. Yeah. So what was that whole, I guess, experience like?
It was a very intimate setting. It was. I usually don't see all the commercials because there's always a group of people around.
Yeah, especially when it goes to commercial break, that's when it's like shot time or this.
Yeah.
Oh, turn that music back up.
I'm watching every commercial. I'm laughing my ass off. I'm like. So I'm acting like I do a radio show like, oh, tomorrow morning, let's talk about the commercials. I'm like putting little notations of like my favorite commercials. Like I was literally entertaining myself. I grilled and made a feast for myself. And I had like maybe 2% of it. I made chicken wings. I had 2 of them. I made a big thing of Rotel. I dipped my hand in there and got 2 chips. By the way, I ain't never doing that Velveeta shit. I am too old for that. That was a big mistake. I am too old for Velveeta. I have outgrown Velveeta. I don't know what I was thinking.
It's so good, but it is not good.
I used to be able to. I could kill a bowl of Velveeta with some Rotel. Would kill that shit.
I can't have it anymore. I told you.
I dipped 2 dips, and my stomach
went. When you dip, they dip. When you dip, your stomach dip. You dip, they dip. They dip.
And then I dipped, and then I went to the bathroom and dipped.
Yeah.
And it was so no more Velveeta for me.
That was the real Tootsie Roll in the bathroom.
It should be a sign when there's cheese just sitting in the middle of the grocery store, unrefrigerated, and just boxes and boxes of this. Saying, eat this. That should let you know you probably shouldn't eat it. It's like cheese in a can. Cheese don't belong in a can. Don't eat it.
The taste is good. However, it's phenomenal. But the after effects, I mean, it's much like drinking a cheap bottle of wine or cheap alcohol or whatever. It might be fun right then. It might even hit you a little harder right then. And then it does hit you harder right then.
It's like a prostitute, man. I mean, at that moment, it's a great idea. But, man, the ramifications is probably not going to be ideal for you.
No, especially you're like, I spent that. Oh no, yeah, it's well, all right. So you made the feast, so you're able to watch. I want to hear.
sweets. I had some. I made my own drinks. I literally had like a whole layout because I just wanted to see it. Just like I did it, and then I started watching the game, and like I said, it was like I've never really watched the Super Bowl in a long time, and I was like literally just sitting there watching the game and the commercials. I think the Christopher Walken was my favorite commercial. I think that was. I would say the Ben Affleck, the Dunkin' Donuts was one of my favorites too.
Yeah, that was number one for me. That was good.
That was, and it wasn't so much Ben Affleck. It was everybody else. Everybody else made that so funny. You know,
Tom Brady helped it. Matt Damon.
J-Lo made it. J-Lo being so subtle. She was so subtle with it.
She was perfect.
Made it. And Matt Damon.
Jack Harlow didn't fuck it up. I was like, okay. Matt Damon made it perfect.
And speaking of Matt Damon, when did he go from 40 to 75? How did he get so fast?
So it's not that he's. So I thought about this too. So one thing about Matt Damon that's always been the case, and I don't know if you would see these on like celebrity magazines and stuff.
Yeah.
So like whenever he's like gearing up for like a Bourne movie or something, he'll get in shape. But Matt Damon has the body type. He's kind of like me. He's got a little bit wider shoulders, and he'll kind of let go. But now, one thing, the hair that was like gray. It's weird because like Ben Affleck still looks like he could teeter between like late 30s, early 40s, whatever. Where Matt Damon, you're like, damn, you're just now you're in your 50s or whatever the case is.
Hang on. Maybe Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Maybe look, I don't know who uses Just for Men these days. I don't know. You know, everybody uses it these days. Who knows who uses it? So maybe Matt Damon's like, you know what? I'm just gonna just let it go, and I'm like, I don't care. And gray it is because for some people gray nicely. Some people gray.
Hey, Richard Gray Gere.
Richard Gere. I mean, he's been white since I don't remember him not being white. I mean,
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. Now he was born with white hair.
Yeah. Well, so they say sometimes the people with gray or bald that they'll look older when they're younger, but then whenever they get older, they look the same age. So that actually kind of works out for him because he's always stay.
George
here.
Clooney still looks great. Idris Elba, he has the gray, like it looks great. But then got some people when they get gray, they look homeless and they look like they're starving. They look like they ain't ate. They look like they're out of money. They look like they're out of luck. And so they're like, I died. Now, I've seen some really bad dyes as of late. And I was watching this speaking of the Super Bowl. Oh my goodness. Did you see the dye job on who is the head guy on the CBS? The black dude.
Nate Burleson?
No, the head guy, the host, the main.
James Brown.
James Brown. How did I forget James Brown's name? But man, his hair dye. Like, first of all, like, okay, dude, we know you're old. We've been watching you.
Yeah.
Since we were kids, and now we are to the point where we have gray. And
James Brown was in one of the first. James Brown was in one of the first Maddens I had, like Madden, like 96 on the first Super Nintendo or whatever, or no PlayStation. The first PlayStation.
John Madden played for James Brown. That's how old James Brown is.
Yeah,
his hair is so black. Like even in your youngest years, your hair was never that black. And I'm like, why are you black? Why is your hair so black? We know you've been in this industry for 75 years. Like you were here before TV. So it's like, you don't have to have black hair. Like, why is your hair so black? I don't understand that. Smokey Robinson. Why are you still dyeing your hair? Your name is Smokey, first of all. And second of all, you've been around. Our parents were kids when you were singing. You don't have to have black hair. It's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like,
Who am I to judge?
Yeah, look, I think he's on TV, so okay, I get it. And look, if it looks good, if he makes you feel good, dye that shit.
talk.
Matt Damon, if you don't want to dye it, that's cool.
Right.
But I guess it'll be interesting if he does pop up in another movie soon, and he's got like dark hair. Obviously, you'll know. But yeah, I don't know.
During COVID, everybody in Hollywood had gray hair. Did you notice that when you would see him on their little Zooms or their little personal cameras?
Yeah, you were like, damn, everybody looks like shit.
I mean, Kevin Hart had a lot of gray hair. Jamie Gray, Will was all gray. DJ Khaled, he was like all gray and scruffy, and then while we got out of COVID, everybody was like the shade or black hair. Like, no way.
I ain't going back in the streets. I ain't going back in these streets with these gray hair now.
I mean, like I said, I'm talking about people who are, a little bit older than me, but not too much older. So trust me, I get the gray hair thing. I'm not dissing the gray hair thing. I will say it might be a long time before you people, you people will see me with gray hair, because I'm not going to go out there looking patchy. Like if I get to the point where I am fully gray and I'm just like, I'm rocking it.
Like Morgan Freeman gray?
Yeah, but if I'm patchy, I'm not Patch Adams, right? You ain't gonna catch me out here all patchy and shit. It looks like I got leprosy or something. Like, no. Like, I'm like, no, I'm dying that shit until I might even go the opposite. And I told my wife this. I was like, I might even dye my hair gray. Like my beard, and just make it all gray just so it's all even.
Well, you did that for Halloween 3 years ago.
That was a test. That was a test run. I was going to see what it looks like. I might do that. That might be my next move. I might start dyeing my hair gray, especially my beard, and just go ahead and just go straight, because I hate the patchy thing. Doesn't work for me. So I'm not going to do that. So as long as it's not going to be patchy, then I'm going to keep it one color. And like I said, I might go completely gray. Just do the whole thing until it all grows in. Because I can't do patchy shit.
I've thought about that, about as far as like dyeing hair. I've definitely tampered with my beard at some points.
Yeah.
And mainly because it'll get like different shades of brown and reddish.
Yeah.
And so, it's like, it gets a little gray, but it's more of different shades of red and brown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, okay, we needed to, okay.
Yeah.
It looks like a Neapolitan fucking ice cream. I can't have this. But the hair luckily I'm still not dealing with I'm not dealing with gray like that, but I do wonder if I would dye it. And if I did dye it, would I own it? And I think I would. I don't think whatever.
When you say own it, what do you mean?
I mean, if someone goes, hey, do you dye your hair? I'd be like, yeah, sure, I did.
Who's going to ask you that?
I mean, look, there are people that notice things about people.
Well, let me ask you this. Okay, let me ask you this, and I'll tell you, like, if you start dating someone and you dye your hair, how long before they'll see you without a fresh touch of Just for Men?
I don't know. Well, I guess it would depend on. I haven't done it enough to where I've been consistent or whatever. A couple of years back, I dyed it a few times for a character bit.
Yeah,
where I was wearing like a darker, like doing like that kind of Guido.
You were getting gray out. You were changing the colors. You were just
changing the colors. But I remember liking it a little bit. Like, okay, I kind of like the all one color or whatever. Yeah. So then I'll do it here and there. I've never done up here since like high school. That was like blonde, right? Yeah. Doing the old Eminem thing. But I think if I probably wouldn't try to hide it, because I don't think I don't really care. It's not like, again, maybe it's because I'm not dyeing it because it's gray. Maybe I'm dyeing it to kind of be like one color. Yeah. So I think that maybe it has a different feeling.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess, I guess it depends on if you're doing it out of like insecurity or whatever, because you don't want to be gray, which I feel. I mean,
right.
That's a tough pill to swallow, right?
I mean, and some people gray early. Some people, it's just like hair loss.
But again, though, some people, I think I've got a couple of buddies. I got one buddy in particular, like he's got the grayish in his hair and his beard. Yeah. But I think, and he's married or whatever, but I think it looks good.
Yeah.
I would, if he dyed it, I would be like, what are you doing? Like, no. This is like, you've got a good look going. He's got a good hairline, good hair, all that. It's good.
Yeah.
I would be more concerned if he dyed it. Like, don't dye it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, is because that's what you're used to seeing, though. But if you always saw him, like if he dyed his hair and you always saw him that way, and then next thing you know, you saw him and now he got gray patches, you'd be like, whoa, like you aged 10 years the last time I saw you.
Yeah, that's the tough part. I mean, again, I guess you got to look at it like if I'm covering something up, can I maintain this?
If you started, you can't just go, well, I'm not gonna do it this week. Like,
yeah, yeah, unless you're so open about it that you don't care, or if you just don't care. Some people don't care, but I think that it kind of would go against the grain if you were dyeing it so much. Obviously, you'd have to care enough to keep dyeing it. So then, why did you not dye it this one week? I don't know.
I would like to ask women, and there's any women listening or watching this pod that don't know us, comment, like, do you mind if the guy you're dating is dyeing his hair? And if he is dyeing his hair, would you feel some type of way if he stopped dyeing his hair? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure if you in a relationship, they'll say, "Oh, we're together now, and I don't care." But I just wonder, like, what they
don't care, like don't care either way. Like you can dye it or not dye it,
or do they feel duped? Like, let's say, you've been dyeing your hair this whole time, and then they don't know that, and then all of a sudden they come over your house. And then they see some Just for Men laying over there or something, or do y'all go on a 2-week trip to Europe, and then next thing you know, she see you waking up in the morning and like all this gray starting to pop up out of the way. Does she feel like, oh my God, I didn't know you dyed your hair? Now, mind you, coming from women who dye their hair on a regular damn basis, I don't know if it's a little hypocritical for them to feel a certain way, but I would like to hear from them, like, would they prefer their man to? I know there's some women out there that say, "Oh, the gray is sexy," but only if he's sexy.
Yeah,
everybody ain't sexy with gray.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think some dudes that can pull it off, and a lot of the guys that we've probably named can probably pull off gray or not gray.
Mm-hmm.
Like the George Clooney's and stuff like that. Idris Elba. Right. Clearly, those guys can do anything, and you're going to be like, they're just those type of dudes. But I don't know. I don't know what. I think it depends. I also think it depends on like how it matches with your body, skin tone. Again, because remember, it's still like you can't be like having super like blondish eyebrows with jet black hair, right?
Well, yeah.
Looking like Joe Pesci and fucking JFK. You can't be. It can't be David Faraday. You can't be looking all crazy. Right. It's gotta kind of match. So I think it can't look ridiculous.
Yeah.
But maybe what if they're dyeing it to where it looks so natural, and then
that's what I'm saying. Like she met you looking like this, and so the next date you're gonna make sure you look like this. The next date you're gonna make sure you look like this. At no point have you told her that you dye your beard or you dye your hair. So eventually it's probably going to be that first vacation that you take, because you'll dye it before you leave. All right. And it's going to take a couple of days before the rain starts popping up.
I feel like that should last. How long does it last? Should it last like a week or 2 weeks?
Well, if other hair grows.
I guess for you, like, I've got like different colors in my beard and my hair. It's like I've got some brown, some red, some blonde, maybe a few grays. Yours is
let's say
yours is all one color.
Yeah, let's say I dye my hair and then get myself a fade, or go get a fade. Well, the new hair that's going to come in is going to be gray. You see what I'm saying? So the new hair that comes in is going to be gray after it's cut. And so do you quickly go to the nearest store and grab some more hair dye and then dye it in the morning before she wakes up? Or do you like, hey, this is it. This is what I'm rocking with. I'm just curious.
I think I think it depends. If you're going on vacation, if it's your girl, you go on vacation. If it's your girl,
the first vacation. That might not necessarily be your official girl. It's just a girl that's cool enough for you to take on vacation. You see what I'm saying? And that happens a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe that's why if it's your first girl, you should probably keep that vacation to like a 3 to 4 day max, anyways.
Well,
because you keep it in the perfect time to where you and shorter the better, because you want to be like, damn, I want this to keep going, rather than I can't wait for it to be done.
Oh yeah.
So then in that time frame, you should be fine with that dye. If that dye leaves too quick, get some better dye, brother. Get something better. And luckily, if it's that crucial, they got CVS's everywhere, and Just for Men doesn't seem that expensive and that tough. So
I will say
just a matter of
the Just for Men with the black guy on the front can be hard to find sometimes. I can actually tell you the fucking Target on Haskell. Fuck y'all. All right. You guys never have the Just for Men with the brother on the front. I'm just saying. And you can't be doing the one who just says the black and just have the random white dude. No, the brother guy be on it. Just for Men. I can't be having no Just for Men.
It's got to say jet black. Yeah. That's weird too, because that Haskell
black too, right?
Because the one on Haskell though, that one is a very diverse Target. Now they
have never had the Just for Men with a brother on it.
That's crazy, because I feel they haven't.
I'm just saying, but they don't have that weird one.
They have the aisle. They have the aisle with cocoa butter and stuff. Like they don't think that far ahead.
The black people are. That's not a whole aisle, by the way. Not a whole aisle. There's an aisle with a section of it's one of those half aisles, because there's like entire aisle.
Yeah, it's one of that part where there's full aisles, and then there's a little short half shelf aisles, and it is. Right. No, it's still a full aisle, but
chest down, shoulder width. There's an aisle where you see black people on it.
To be fair, though, that Target on Haskell does provide you with other benefits that can offset the
offset might even be there.
Offset might even be there. That might offset what you're looking for.
You know who I saw there before? I don't know if I told you this. I saw Brittany Renner at that Target.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I didn't think about it until after I saw her. You know, you do those like, I know her.
Yeah.
Where I know her from. And no, it wasn't a porn star. You go, where do I know her from? I know her from somewhere. And then it wasn't until like the next day it hit me. I was like, I know who that was, because I was thinking like, do I know her? I was like, who is that? Who is that? Yeah. And but yeah, that Target, which is funny, is right across the street from the LA Fitness that I go to on a regular basis. And
that's the one you go to.
And yeah,
I've been to that one several times. Yeah,
I'm sure you have.
I don't like to go to that one.
I would rather.
There's way too much going on. That's a lot. I
want to go to a facility where it's like a warehouse, and there's like open garage doors, and there's like a big fan that's blowing with a big ass, fan thing, and get a workout in there, and then go home. Maybe listen to the Rocky themes, a montage or whatever. LA Fitness, man, it's hard to work out there. First of all, so many people.
Yeah, no, that was one of the main issues. It's too crowded, but on top of being too crowded,
it's not even one of those things. I'm gonna catch a time where it's not crowded.
Yeah,
what time you go? Unless you go at 5 a.m, it is completely packed.
It's just like that Target. It's like, I go to that Target. I'm like, damn, I was just coming to get like, what is happening here? I just wanted to get a few things.
And
now I'm going
ass everywhere.
Yeah. Now what am I going down the Home Good aisle for? What the hell?
Why am I walking down this aisle?
Yeah. Why am I doing the hip abductor machine now? God damn. That LA Fitness it's just
and you can't help but see what's going on.
But
you can't. It's everywhere. You can't.
It's everywhere around you. The bitches are everywhere around you.
Around us.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, you didn't even get into so we talked about your favorite commercial, my favorite commercial, Dunkings, yours, Christopher Walken.
Yep.
But you didn't talk about the halftime show or the music in general. You know, it was a star-studded event with Post Malone doing America.
I didn't see that coming.
He did that. Reba did the national anthem. Then you had Usher doing the halftime show with all the stars.
I mean, you know, I was a huge fan. You know, I saw on, you know, just like everything else online, you know, they got to make fun of everything. And so I saw someone post, I'm sure everybody that was born before 2000 thought that was a great halftime show.
Yeah.
And, you had a lot of people saying it was mid, talking about Usher was washed. I'm like, okay, what part of Usher you want to say washed? This man is literally still doing flips and doing splits up under dudes.
He was fucking rollerblading.
Roller skates.
Yeah, that was not done.
Ripped the shreds at 45 years old, singing and dancing for 25 minutes. So
that's what I was wondering if that's where you're going with the hair dye stuff, because it's like when you see Usher, you're like, he might be 45, but he still looks. I mean, he doesn't look as baby face as he did at 25, but he still looks. He doesn't look 45. He looks like if you didn't know who he was,
right?
He could be like, I'm 34. And you're like, okay, yeah.
If you saw a montage, if someone just took a montage of Usher, like quick clips of Usher performances from like 2000 to 2024, and they slip a couple of these clips from the Super Bowl in that montage, you wouldn't just say, oh, that's an old clip, or that's a new clip, or he's old. Like, he would look the same. Like, you wouldn't notice a big difference in.
I think he's got a little bit more muscle now.
Well,
I mean, obviously he's not. He's still ripped, but he's not skinny as he used to be. But that's the only difference.
Not like if you saw James Brown at 25 and then see James Brown at 45.
Well, which James Brown are we talking about? Because are we talking about CBS James Brown?
CBS James Brown. We're talking about on the good foot James Brown.
CBS James Brown at 25 in 1905 looked the same as he does now, and he's still been the same age the whole time.
Two different James Browns. But no, like, and here's the thing. I saw Usher in 2013. He came in concert here in Dallas at the American Airlines Center, and he looked like an older Usher. He had a little gut. He didn't take his shirt off. His moves were a little slow. So I'm thinking like, oh, well, you know, hey, because I think that was the time that he was doing the whatever that show where they turn the seats around or whatever. He was doing
The Voice.
He was doing The Voice, and he was doing that for a couple of seasons, but his popularity grew again because he was doing The Voice. So he was like, well, I guess I'll go back on tour. And he just kind of went back on tour. But he wasn't dancing with all, and he was kind of doing some of the dance steps, but he was kind of letting the dancers do it. So I'm thinking like, okay, well, you know, he's had his time, and you know, it's fine. That was 2013. This motherfucker turned the clock back.
Yeah.
And he became prime Usher again. And I'm just like, to be able to do that in your 40s, like, it's one thing if you maintain it. It's one thing you LeBron James in it. Like, LeBron James, you know, he ain't changed. He's staying the same.
But he's one of one.
But if you lose it, you don't get it back in your 40s. If you lose something, it ain't something you can get back in your 40s. You got to keep it. I got buddies that still play ball at 50 years old, and they're still dunking because they never stopped. They didn't stop playing. But if you stop playing and then you go back and start trying, no, you can't get it back. So
it's tough to get back. But I will say, if you have money, makes it a little bit easier. Makes it a little bit easier. You got access to some supplements that can turn back time. We can talk about that on another episode. Yep. Peptides and some things like that are Hollywood stars are doing.
Yep.
But it's still hard though.
Yeah.
Because even if you go back, especially people get older, maybe they develop drinking habits, bad eating habits, or whatever. Some of those things are still tougher to work off.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit easier when you're him. And I also think 2013, And from where we've gone from 2013 to now, as far as fitness and health, is we've all turned back the hands. Why do you think everybody looks so young now? Everyone looks good.
I mean, what they say, like by 2050 or 2060 or something like that, the average age we're gonna go back to like hundreds again. Like we're gonna be back living in the hundreds. Because I think right now they got us an average age of like 75 or something like that, and you're starting to see that starting to be surpassed. Like people are starting to regularly get past 75 now,
man.
And I say it's only going to grow. It's only going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah,
they're saying in the next 50 years, like we're going to be back to averaging to 100 years old, and that's crazy to think.
Save some of that for one of the next pods we do, because I do have a theory on that.
We need to have somebody on too. We need to have somebody that can speak on that more intelligently.
Well, I could probably get Glenn, the guy that I that has the little performance thing in my gym that I did lab testing with.
Yeah.
Did a full
panel. I want to do that with him too. So we both do it. I want to be able to get my lab testing, so we both can talk about that.
I already did it. I've already got all the supplements in.
Yeah.
It's not cheap. Okay. So again, now you see why an Usher obviously makes way more than me, is way more successful, but I could see where you could turn back if you do the right things, but also you just have to go do it. And I think that a lot of that is food allergies and things like that people don't ever realize. They just battle through, and that's where, cancer, blah, 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 all that stuff. Now, back to Usher, though. I thought that it was, obviously, yes, born way before 2000. So
yeah,
Usher was, I remember when he came out with his first album, I think I was in junior high, and it was like instant classic, like nice and slow. Like you remind me, it was just instant. Like, fuck, dude, Usher is like, I think at first it was kind of like a little new Michael Jackson-ish, but he wasn't, like, because he doesn't sing like Michael Jackson. He can dance like him, but just the fact that I think he was singing live, not even fucking lip syncing. That's nobody does it.
Oh, that's like you have to, it was like a demand that you recorded and you sung over the track.
I'm pretty sure that he didn't. I think he did
not. Yeah, he's like, no, I'm singing live,
dude.
We're doing it live.
So to do it live, to dance, to roller skate, then to have Alicia Keys, Jermaine Dupri, Luda, like, dude, it was just like the
Alicia Keys.
It was sick. Yeah, it was, but it was great. Like,
no, I thought,
dude, that halftime show, like, I love The Weeknd. He's probably one of my favorite artists, and his halftime show was good. But
you're definitely a minority, because everybody talk about like that being one of the worst halftime shows.
I just like him. So
you're biased. Weeknd's your boy.
I'm biased. So I'm gonna fuck with him always.
Yeah.
But this show, I loved it. Okay, so I'll compare it to the Super Bowl in LA, where Dre, Eminem, 50 Cent, all that. And that was great. I thought this was better. And I thought that it was better because I thought that, I don't know, I think Usher just fucking and what sold it, I think, was the skating bit. Like, once that happened too, it was like, damn. And you were like, this motherfucker's really singing and dancing, and he's
skating at the same time.
He's sweating. You're like, damn.
He's an old school performer, and old school performers perform.
That's why I had to tip my hat to him and say that was better, because he did it live.
Right.
And I think that's so no one does that anymore. And I thought it was awesome. I thought it changed the complexion of the game. The game kind of sucked before that. The second half was good. Usher changed it. Thanks. Yep. Thank you.
It was almost like when the New Orleans, when like the Super Bowl that I went to was the Baltimore and San Fran, and Beyonce performed at halftime. And then when she came back from halftime, the lights went out.
Well,
and then the game changed, and the next thing you know, Baltimore came back. San Fran was up, and then the lights went out, and then Baltimore came back. But yeah, I it's funny they talk about the top halftime shows, and I have to admit I don't remember the Michael Jackson halftime show. Like, I remember And it's funny, everybody's like, how do you not remember that? The Cowboys were playing in it.
I remember that.
That's why I don't remember it, because I was so like still nervous. I was still like thinking about the Cowboy game and them coming back, in the game, and like I was going to come back second half. I watched the performance, but I didn't really watch the performance. But I wasn't like really captivated in it because I was so focused on the second half of the game. So, and then Prince, I didn't get a chance to see the Prince halftime show because
that one was great because it did rain.
Yeah, I was en route to get back to my house because I was working Pebble Beach, the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So it was a week before. So we were setting up that whole time. So we worked that Sunday. So we was like trying to get back in time to watch the second half of the game. So I didn't even see the Prince performance until like later on YouTube, like years later. So those two performances I didn't get to see. Bruno Mars, at that point, I thought Bruno Mars was probably the best one I've ever seen.
His is pretty good too. I forgot about that. Bruno Mars is great too. That's a good one.
Yeah, and then was that 2 years ago with
Dre and Snoop, and
I had chills because I'm thinking like I remember being a young kid watching them, and then now this and the way hip hop was viewed during that time as like this outcast of music, no pun intended. Shout out to
Predator. Yeah.
But
that'd be great.
Now to see them at 50-something years old, like getting the flowers and getting the praise of being like some of the greatest performers of all time, I was just like, man, I was proud. It was like a proud moment. Like I literally got emotional watching that halftime show. I was like, damn, like they were spit on and looked down upon, in the industry when hip hop back in those days, and then to be now being able to perform these exact same songs that they were being looked down upon, and now to be praised for those songs. It was talking about a full circle.
Yeah.
Now. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I think Usher is definitely top five. Definitely top five.
Well, I think Usher, obviously it's R&B. It's not hip hop, but it's hip hop, R&B is kind of together. I think Usher is still kind of thrown in with that same, because I mean, his first album came out in like 96 or 97, 98, somewhere in there. I mean, that was still when hip hop was viewed that way, right? Because Eminem didn't drop till a couple of years before.
And but Usher was considered more of a hip hop, and that's one thing. I mean, hip hop, but more R&B because there still was a separation. I think R. Kelly. I know we're going way off base, but I think R. Kelly is that if you want to look at the spectrum of like R&B hip hop, R&B hip hop, R&B hip hop, there was like an R. Kelly connection that started, and then from that, all of a sudden it became like hip hop, and then R&B kind of shifted and left mainstream, and then hip hop kind of took over, and R&B kind of, I won't say died, but it just literally went down here. But anyway, as I digress, that's another whole topic because I can go all day to talk about this conspiracy of how R&B disappeared. But anyway, no, Usher did a great job. I'm looking forward to Usher. He actually had his dates for Dallas.
Yeah, he added two more. It'd be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Well, I know he was already had 2 days, so he added a third day.
Yeah, he had a third day.
So he's at Thursday, Friday. So was it the fourth, fifth, and sixth, or something like that?
I think it's the third, fourth, and fifth.
Third, fourth, and fifth, and I'm definitely going to be at one of those.
I've already seen tickets. They're jumping to $600-$700 a piece.
It'll come down. I'll find somebody that I can get tickets from. I'm not really concerned about that.
Get us in a suite. Somebody get us in a suite. Somebody get us in a suite. We'll give you a review of the show.
Yeah.
Oh, so the rest of the game. How'd you feel about the Kelsey not tush push but dick push on Andy Reid? How'd you feel about the outcome of the game?
Yeah, it was funny when that happened, and and all I could think of is I'm glad that was Travis Kelce that did that. I'm like, what if I'm thinking like some other players, if they had done it, how it would have been looked upon. Let's say a Dez Bryant. I was thinking about Dez Bryant a lot in that game, especially after the catch.
The catch,
yeah. And I thought Romo had a perfect opportunity to say something.
He did.
He didn't say nothing.
No, he did. So they came back. He came back and he goes, made a football move. He goes, that was similar to Des Bryant's catch. He's like, that was a catch. This is a catch.
Yeah, but when it first happened, though, I was waiting for him to say something.
I know. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I wanted him to be like, hey, if Des caught it too, or
usually is, you would think he would take that opportunity, you know?
I would have thought he would have said a little bit, but he did say it, though. He did say Dez's was a catch. That was a catch. I just wish he would have said it right up. That was a very similar play.
That's the first thing I thought. When I saw it, I was like.
And especially because I'm pretty sure, was it Gene? Is it Gene Steratore or Dean Blandino? Which one's their guy?
Dean Blandino.
Wasn't he the guy that made the call?
Oh, I don't remember.
I think he was. So it's like, if that was the case, too, it would have been like, Dean, that was a lot similar to the catch that we had in Green Bay, wasn't it?
What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, but when it got to overtime and San Fran,
you knew
when San Fran didn't score a touchdown. I mean, I think we all knew how that story was going to end. We knew we were going to be watching Travis Kelce making out with Taylor Swift at the 50-yard line with the Dirty Birds kicking the tree. We all kind of knew. Shout out to Luda. We all knew that's kind of how that was going to end, and that's how the NFL wanted it, and that was a wrap. Ta-da! The end.
So you're saying it was scripted?
I'm not saying it was scripted. I just said it worked out the way the NFL wanted it to work out.
So you're saying they were who we thought they were?
They were exactly who they were, who we thought they were.
Do you see the video that's circulating of Roger Goodell talking with Taylor Swift, and it doesn't look like a great conversation? And you're just like,
I heard about it. I didn't know what they were. I didn't know what was going on. Taylor Swift is very animated, so
she is, but it's like a weird conversation where you're like,
first of all, what are y'all talking about? Like, what
yeah, that's the thing is like, what are you talking about? A and B. I can't imagine any scenario where Roger Goodell is talking with Taylor Swift and she doesn't look bubbly. She always looks bubbly.
Her mouth.
So that's where it was kind of weird. That was where it was kind of weird. It was like it didn't look. It looked like a boss talking to an employee.
Yeah.
And that's where people were going like, okay, what the, because it all just felt a little,
maybe it had something to do with when they win this game. Well, when they win this game, like where she was going to be. Like maybe he told her that she couldn't be on stage. Maybe he told her that she had to stand down or whatever. I don't know. I'm just talking. I don't know. Which is, you know what? I bet that they probably wanted her to be up there, and she was probably like, "No, I'm going to stay down. I'm not going to be up there like, like Pat Mahomes' wife. I'm not going to be standing up there, trying to see where the camera is. I'm not going to do that. You know what? I'm not going to go there. But she sit down there, and Taylor Swift just stayed down there and just chilled. It's like, you know what? He comes down, and we'll hang out then. But I'm not going to be on the stage. It's not for me. That's for them. I don't know. Maybe that was the case, but
I thought that first half kind of boring, fourth quarter electric.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he's him. He is, and you can never let him have the ball last.
Nope.
He's going to win every fucking time. If he has the ball last, you're gonna lose. I thought the Travis Kelce thing with Andy Reid, I thought the way Andy Reid handled it was exactly how people should take it. He knew that he was just miffed because he wasn't in. They fumbled. And basically he's saying, motherfucker, if I was in there, that wouldn't have happened. Because the tight end that was in there for me missed the block that caused it. And he's the best tight end of all time. And he's like, I should be out there every time.
He got 2 Super Bowls. I gave you 2 Super Bowls.
Yes.
So, yeah. So I think I've earned that.
And I'm sure – for all the people that don't really understand sports or whatever the case is, a coach wants his player to be like that because he doesn't want his player to not want to be in there. Because if you don't want to be in there, you don't have it in you. Yeah. So that was good. I thought all the stuff with Andy Reid afterwards. Andy Reid, I love him. Like, you're just like, dude, this guy's a national treasure. He's funny. He embraces the his obsession with hamburgers, cheeseburgers.
What not to love about your life? What not to love about your, about what you have accomplished? I mean, the man has done it all. The man has has gone through the trials and tribulations, with the Eagles. Like he went through all of that. And to get to this point at the end of his career, technically, to start reaping the benefits of what he's put in and him being able to adapt to this style. Because remember, he's back from the old school. He's an old school coach. He's back further than the Dan Campbell school of old school. Like he's back before that, but yet he knows how to mesh it of that old school mentality, but yet blend it in with this new form of coaching.
Well, he's very innovative though. He was always innovative back for the Eagles, and he still is now.
Yeah, still is now.
And he gets the most out of his quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He gets the most out of his offenses. He does crazy shit. He seems fun. Seems like the players love him. So it's like one of those things where you're just like, damn, kind of root for him. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'll never root for the 49ers.
It's hard.
I feel like
it's hard. I tried.
I don't know what it is. I just can't. But it's not even that team that we used to bet. It's just something about I just don't want them to win.
Yeah. I tried. But I can't. It just can't happen. And I've given up. California in general, and we ain't gonna talk about the Lakers and what happened with Spencer Dinwiddie. I heard what you said. Trust me, we ain't got time to get on it, but I'm gonna give you a pass, Mr. Spencer Dinwiddie, this time. But I'll be back. I'll find another time to get on.
Yeah, we'll see because I don't love that.
It ain't over
I don't
yet.
love that. I don't love that.
This ain't over, Spencer.
You were courting both teams. You didn't have to throw it. You didn't have to throw that shade.
And we'll get our chance. Our time will come, Mr. Spencer Dinwiddie. Our time.
And never throw shade on your mama.
You just
talking about your daddy. That's not cool.
You just wait. I got you. I know you don't care, but that's all right. I got you. Be sure to follow us on I'll Have a Double Podcast on Instagram. Check us out on YouTube. Like I said, we're getting this thing kickstarted. We're gonna start bringing in some guests, and we're gonna start putting together some other events. And so help us out. Like, subscribe if you're still watching up till an hour and 27 minutes, which is literally like 45 minutes longer than what we were planning on doing. But whatever.
Well, hey, we can cut this thing down.
Well, let it ride, man. Let it ride. So we're just getting back in the swing of things, man. We're getting the habit. Hey, this is like our second pod in like 6 days. Like that's potting right there. This is real potting going on.
Shout out to StreamYard. It's made it a lot easier.
We can talk about stuff right now, and then boom, hit it, and then go on to the next one. And
it's crazy. I was thinking about that. As much as I love doing shows in face to face. This makes it so much better. It's so much easier. And we got cool. Your backdrop looks perfect. Look at this. It's all great. It's good. Aesthetically pleasing.
We got to worry about getting in the car, and I ain't got to drive.
It sounds good. It's great. Let's keep it going.
And I think it'll be easier even for us to get guests. Like they don't have to drive and travel to us and go and do all that.
I got an invite button down here. Bam, invite done. There they go.
And we're still going to do some stuff live, and we're going to have people in live. But I think this is a great way to chat, weekly, and people can see what's going on. We're going to do more Dallas focused stuff, though. I think that the people like when we talk more Dallas related stuff. So we're definitely going to talk about some stuff, and I'm going to talk about my anniversary dinner. We're going to the Charles. I haven't been to the Charles. Have you been to the Charles before?
Funny enough, that has been on my list for like 4 years.
Where I'm going Thursday. Well, probably when I air this, when this airs on YouTube, I would probably be going that day. So podcast,
do me a favor and go to the Speakeasy inside the Charles. Mm-hmm. And let me know how it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some videos and then I will post those on I'll Have a Double on the story and the reels, and then I'll give you my whole shebang on the Charles when we return.
Nice. Have fun. Whenever you go at the Charles Oakley or the Charles Haley, whatever Charles you want.
Yeah, or the Charlie, which is the speakeasy. That'll be the Charlie, the speakeasy. So
that'll be the Charlies that are on.
The Charlies that are on. So, all right, we will see you guys later. Once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of I'll Have a Double. And we will see you next time. Be easy, everybody, and love one another and always be excellent. Peace.
Peace.
Ta-da!